Good morning. It's a relatively mild day, and it is the last day of the year, December 31st, the last session of 2023. And with the weather being so mild this past week, you'd think I would have fished more. I have been out twice this week. Both times I was out for trout. And I had a few other opportunities to get out for carp, and unfortunately I didn't take them. It's been the holidays, so I stayed up late, indulged a little, and ended up sleeping in, missing a couple chances to come out and get a morning session in. I did do a really fantastic puzzle though. I've had a lot of time this week to kind of reflect and think about kind of how this year has gone and how I want next year to go. That's something we can get into another time. For right now, I'm on the bank. I may only have an hour. I may have 4 hours. It's my wife's birthday today, and she has to work, unfortunately. So I could get a phone call that I have to go home early. I might get a message that says I can stay a little bit longer, but the bottom line is I will have to get home. This is going to be a very short session, but I'm back out tomorrow. So this is kind of a two-parter. I'm going to try and do what I can today in the limited time, and then I have a bit more time tomorrow to really give it a good go. The weather will be slightly colder tomorrow. It's been very mild. It was 10 degrees when I went fishing 2 days ago. This morning it was 1, and there was a slight form of like a skimmy little ice in the shallows just to my left when I arrived. Looks like that has since gone. I have 3 singles out. I'm fishing my very light setup right now, the 9-foot extendable rods, and I've got 2 pop-ups and a wafter. I'm just fishing out to the spots that I know. Normally I would have one out in open water here, but yeah, for some reason I didn't put one out there today. They've been out about a half an hour, maybe just a little longer. I got here well before first light and set up, and there are signs of fish all over the place to the left, nothing in open water. They're not all carp, some of them definitely are, but I think what's going on is there's a big school of rudd in here right now. I think that's the activity on the surface at the moment. So fishing much lower, just a little bit off the bottom or right on the deck, should help me avoid the rudd for the most part. I'm not against catching them, it's just not what I'm fishing for today. When I come back tomorrow, I might bring a designated setup, maybe a long 10-foot, 12-foot rod with a float and a jig, just to make a few casts and see if I can catch them. That will give me confirmation that that is what's breaking the surface and help me cater my approach before I put the carp lines in. Right now, that's another show there. Got a line like right there. No, that was a bird. Okay. Pretty much everywhere I have my lines, there's lots of small shows. I don't think it's perch. I don't think the perch have pushed in here yet. I think it's rudd. If it was carp, I'd hear them more. Right now you barely hear them, you just see them. But with the singles out there, I don't have any free offerings out there at all. I forgot my slingshot, I forgot my baiting pole, I forgot my throwing stick. I have 3 kilos of boilies with me that I intended to put out in preparation for tomorrow. And I know that seems like a lot for a winter session, but when it's mild and these fish are in here, they feed hard. So I'm not going to be able to get the bait out today. What I will do is I'm going to redo each rod, and I'm going to put a little PVA stick out. Just some little mesh bags with some chopped up boilie and some small, what size was this? It's not a bag. What do we got here? So superfruit boilies that I've broken up, and then 3 mil superfruit pellets. Really, really tiny. And I've done 3 different size bags. So my left hand rod is in quite close, not a long cast, larger bag. Mid-size bag, the next rod out. The furthest rod I have to cast, tiny bag. Using the lighter setup, I need to kind of take every advantage I can to make sure I'm getting my casts where I need them. I'll probably switch things over and bring out the heavier rods tomorrow. These were accessible from being ready from my last session in November, so these are the ones I grabbed. So I think right now I'm gonna do some casts, get these out there, give it a little bit more of an advantage than just being a single, and see if we can get the last fish of the year. Stick around. Got a fish. What a subtle take. I was just watching the tips. There was a lot of movement on the tips, and it's only 3-4 minutes after I put the PVA sticks out. And it's the shallowest rod, the one that's closest in, that is actually pulled around. Now it's hard to judge with these light rods. I absolutely love these light rods, but everything feels huge with them. This fish is definitely really holding its own. There's a couple weed beds down there that stay there all winter long, which is, I think, the biggest reason these fish are here. Winter after winter, is the weed beds keep the natural food here for them, and a good hiding place for the bait fish that come in here. This is a very slow, very lethargic kind of fight from this fish. Usually, when they're small, they're much more scrappy. This fish is under the middle rod. He's under the other 2 lines and trying to get into open water here. Oh man. I was excited about the activity, you know, fish being here, the weather being just right, but I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting a bite so early. Play it under those lines. Holy, this is a good fish. Holy, that might have a 30-pounder on here. I apologize for the camera angle. Basically, that's set up as a bite cam hanging from a tree. Oh, I just gotta look at this fish. It's a big fish. It's definitely the biggest one I've had with these light rods. And when it rolled, it looked long and then it rolled and I saw its flank. And holy crap, what a deep looking fish. Holy, that fish is 25 at least. Oh, my next tangle. Oh, oh. I think that fish is going to make 25 for sure. Oh my God. Oh my God, I got him just tucked in the net here. I was not ready for a bite early. I have a lot of gear. Pretty much all my gear is still just kind of thrown in a pile. So I need to get the mat situated. The scale for sure. I definitely got to weigh this fish. Wow. Alright. The inside of the sling is wet. The mat is wet. And I forgot my phone holder for doing self-takes. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Let's bring the fish up. Let's have a look. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, this is a big fish. 28.4. Just shy of 30. Oh, I can't believe it. Let's lower this down just a little bit. Sorry, I'm not really set up to film properly today. There's a couple pieces of equipment that I forgot, a couple pieces that have proven to be faulty today. Oh man. But I guess if you're gonna have everything go wrong, might as well have it go wrong with a 28 pounder. Oh God. What a fish. So this fish came on a deep pink strawberries and cream pop-up. This is the one that I put just to the left. Incidentally, this is where I caught, that's the same spot that I caught my winter 20 back last winter for my winter sessions. Look at this fish. Oh my God. I am blown away, absolutely blown away that this fish is only 28 pounds. This is a beast, absolute beast. Oh my God, what a fish. I'm going to try and do a couple quick photos, and then we'll get this fish released. I can't believe that happened. Oh. 28 pounds, 4 ounces, minutes after a recast with a solid, with a mesh bag. I guess I need to tie another mesh bag and get this back on the spot. The other two rods had a bit of indication while that one was initially going. That one whipped around, these ones didn't. So there's still a chance on these. I've now just created chaos in the swim, so I gotta get my life sorted together here. so this fish feels strong as well, but a lot more head shakes. It came right up to the surface right away. This is on the one of the yellow Take 4 cold water green beast wafters. This fish is kiting for the snags, and it could get into my other lines. I got to be careful because these lighter rods, I only have 13-pound mono on them. Okay, now he's starting to kite out to open water. Hard to judge size on this one. It's definitely scrappier, so I think it's smaller. Well, if your first fish is a 28-pounder, the likelihood that your second fish is going to be bigger is pretty slim. Oh, get out of those lines. Come on, come on. What did you do? You little bugger. So the fish went under my lines, then up in between the other two, like in between the two. Now he's back out in open water. You can just see him under the surface. He's actually, it's another decent fish, but I don't think there's any way it's anywhere close to 28 pounds. Just no way. Definitely a big fish. And 90% of this fight has been just under the surface. Definitely a high double, maybe scraper 20. I'm gonna guess 17 or 18. I don't think I'm gonna weigh this one. We'll get a look at it. Okay. Fish number 2 on a session that I definitely had confidence in, but not enough to catch the caliber of fish that I've just had. I am going to weigh this one. It's got a really good size to it. I think I was guessing 17 or 18. Let's see if it actually makes 20. Oh, son of a bitch. It is a 20, 22.8. Settle down, settle down. $22.8. 2:20s, only minutes apart. On December 31st, my last session of 2023. And again, I might only be here like another half hour. I'm just waiting to hear back from the missus so I can make sure, despite the fact that she has to work, I can do my best to give her a good birthday. It looks like I'm getting the presents right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that's one on the left rod, strawberries and cream, or strawberries and condensed milk. One on the right, the Take 4 yellow wafter, Green Beast. The middle rod, believe it or not, is the one that I actually thought would go. That's got the pale pink Coldwater Green Beast pop up on it. That's really the one that I was banking on. Really, in all fairness, if you got Green Beast on, it's definitely worth banking on. Okay, I need a photo. Well, while I was getting ready to bring that fish down, I did hear an indication. I'm not sure which rod it was, but there's definitely more tension on the left than there was. There may actually be a chance at another fish. I might have enough time. Oh man, I didn't have a chance to put this back. Can I turn that? I just cast out the right hand rod, just as a single. I didn't tie a new bag. I set it down on the rest, and as I tried to put the bobbin on, it ripped off in my hand. Whatever it is, I think it's relatively small. Hard to tell, I think it's swimming right at me. Can I make an adjustment here? Oh, I love this new mini tripod I got, but It literally goes anywhere, so it makes it awkward to use when you have it anywhere. So I guess you didn't see that bite because the camera was still pointing from the release. Big kite left. This fish is very scrappy. Definitely going to be a smaller one. In the net. Wow. Literally just trying to set the bobbin. I don't think I'm going to try and take this all the way up to the mat. So we'll do this. What a morning. You see where that fish is? Right there? Let's go down there, get it unhooked, and get it released. Okay, I guess I'm not going to show them to you. Very feisty fish for such cold water. Oh, that's me. My bad. Sorry. Honestly, it's these very short, kind of planned but poorly planned sessions. I think I always get the biggest rush out of. know, I'm here with confidence. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm in the right place, definitely at the right time. You know, I've got good bait. Everything I'm doing I know is solid. In all fairness, if I had to say that there's anything about what I'm doing that takes any confidence out of the equation, is that I have a stiff boom with a spinner rig on the middle rod, and I don't usually use that. It was for where I was fishing last time. And that's the only rod that hasn't gone. Looks like I just got a message. Hopefully that's the wife letting me know what time I need to be home. Let's put this back out real quick. Tangled, tangled, tangled. Man, what a morning. I think my split shot is gone. Might have to do a little bit more rig doctoring on this, because I don't think that wafter is going to sit as much as I need it down without the split shot. I'm using really light leads because I'm using the light rods, light line. This is my small fish setup, and I've had 2 donkeys so far. That's it. Let's see. How's that sit? Well, it's wafting about as perfect as I think it can waft. Okay. I'm going to start doing a bit of a tidy up just in case I have to get going. Get you fixed back on the rods right there. And yeah, maybe we can sneak one more out. I'm going to go back to getting my gear packed down. I think I'm going to end up just leaving early anyways. I can't say that I haven't had an absolutely killer session, but I'm definitely back tomorrow. Well, that's the plan anyway. If I do make it back tomorrow, the plan is to bring the 13 footers, the bigger pod. I'm going to set up in my normal spot, just to the right. It's a little bit more open for casting. I can hit all these spots, but also way out at the drop-off in the river. So we're looking at like 100, 110 yards. The last 15 minutes or so, I've seen a lot of really big carp come up. All the smaller fish that were rising over here that I think were rudd have pretty much stopped. But now really big fish are rising out far. So I think tomorrow is going to be more of a long-range setup. You know, I'll keep at least 1, maybe 2 lines over in the normal deeper water zone here. But I will definitely be fishing the flat tomorrow. Happy New Year. It's still kind of dark here in my shelter. It's quite a bit light out there now. I've been here hour and a half just trying to set up and get everything ready. Had to tie all new rigs, change the setups on the 13-foot rods. A very, very drastic change from yesterday, where I was pretty much as comfortable as I could be for it being a December 31st session. For a good chunk of yesterday, even though I was only out like 2.5 hours, I didn't have my jacket on for a lot of it. I was very, very comfortable. There was absolutely no wind, and it's not the case today. There's 20 to 25 kilometer an hour winds from the northeast. I like this wind for this spot for carp in the winter. I've caught a lot of carp in this kind of wind, with it being this cold still. We just had a big batch of freezing rain come through, so everything is slick, including the rocks that I have to go down onto to be able to cast and whatnot. Right now I'm just trying to get the third rod ready. I've got 2 out. That was a chore. Neither one of them landed anywhere. I can't say anywhere near where I wanted them. I would say they probably landed very close to each other, which is not what I wanted. And they're probably 20 feet to 30 feet short of where I wanted them to land. So instead of being in that deeper water, I think they're right at the ledge or just up on the flat, right near the deep water. So I'm not in a bad spot, but I'm not landing as well as I did yesterday. Because I moved over 50 feet from where I fished yesterday, the angle's a little bit different, and with the wind coming right across, it's really having an impact on the cast. I'm going to leave them there though. I put them out with the PVA stick because that's all I got. I remembered a spod rod today, but I forgot to bring a spod. I didn't bring the throwing stick because I was like, I got the spod rod. I'm going to do up a mix and I'll spot it out there. But I forgot a spod. So I still, other than the little bit of PVA I have left, I don't have a way of getting bait out there. Which sucks. But we're going to do our best to try and get the first fish of the year. Really capped off 2023 with 3 awesome quality fish yesterday. And with these tough conditions today, you know what, I'm still really optimistic. The water's colored, but not chocolatey. I think the fish are still here. I don't think they're going to be out at range like they were yesterday when I saw them showing before I left, which is kind of what I was hoping to fish to, with at least 1 rod. But despite that, I'm still going to put 1 out on the flat, at least 60 or 70 yards, as much as I can push it with this wind. I'll give those 2 rods an hour where they are, and if nothing happens, I will make an effort to get them more onto their spots. So right now I have the 3rd rod. I got to get a lead put together. I've got a rig tied. Just got to get a bait on it. So I've got the strawberry and condensed milk and pineapple chunks pop up out there right now. This rod will be done up with the pink cold water green beast, and let's start things off with a bang. I'll be honest with you. I know it's windy and you might not be able to hear me, but I was not expecting a really hard bite at all, let alone that quick. But the way the conditions are, honestly, I thought I was going to be putting in a good chunk of the day before I even saw a bite. It's a small fish, but it's the first fish of 2024 on the that deep pink strawberries and condensed milk pop-up. This fish absolutely smashed it. I was just sitting there just trying to have a sip of my coffee, and I just heard this loud crack and the alarm, and it turns out that it just hit so hard the bobbin shot up and hit the blank, which is really not good for this cold weather. Very scrappy little guy. First fish of 2024. I am so happy to have had such a killer day yesterday in 2.5 hours fishing. Right now, the lines haven't even been out. They haven't even been out half an hour yet. This is awesome. This is so awesome. Yeah, I know it's so windy. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to film the rest of the day, but okay, I'm going to do a quick picture. I'm going to get this fish back, and then we might be in tune for another bite here in a second. The middle rod just went slack. I got to sort this fish out first. Okay. So I just told you the middle rod dropped back a little bit. As I was carrying that fish down to the water in the sling, the middle rod melted, absolutely melted. So 2 fish back to back. So that one's in the net. I'm gonna bring that up in a second. What I need to do is get the other net put together, because now I have 2 nets out of commission. And I'm gonna wing the strawberry rod back out to try and capitalize on the bite window. What a start. What a start. Okay, fish number 2. I would say he's just slightly bigger than the first one. And you can see with winter fishing, you just can't predict anything. Just like last year when I did the winter campaign, I got fish on casts that I had no confidence in because they didn't land where I wanted them to land. So the 2 casts I put out there that I was still comfortable with where they were, but they weren't where I wanted them, those are the 2 that have gone. The open water rod has not done anything yet, which is fine. Oh, feisty. So I would say the same size, maybe just slightly larger. Much bigger mouth on this one. Absolute beauty. One thing's for sure, any winter carp is a great carp. And I think you can say that worldwide. It's not just restricted to any carp in Canada in the winter is a good carp. Any winter carp is a good carp. Big tail on this fish. Okay. Everything is freezing up so fast. The net's completely frozen. The lines are freezing. I don't want the fish to freeze, so I'm gonna get this fish back, get that rod back out, and see how the rest of the morning progresses. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'd say I need to warm up, but body-wise, I am just so pumped right now. Body-wise, I'm sweating. Hand-wise, trying to play those fish in that sharp, cold wind, and then to hold them up. Oh, my hands are absolutely frozen. So I got some gloves in here somewhere. I'll have to put them on in a second. So I've put those two rods back out just as singles. The right hand rod is still just sitting out on the flat with a PVA stick. I'm going to leave them as singles for half an hour. Let my hands warm up. Maybe tie up a couple of PVA sticks just to see. I think I've got enough to do maybe 2 more sticks. I'll give those half an hour and then I'll do a recast on them. I found in this spot that once you know you're on the fish and you've got a couple bites, you don't always have to get that stick back out. Middle rod, middle rod. Big drop back, big drop back. No! No! Man, I set into that fish. That was a bigger fish. I didn't gain any line on it. When I got to the rod, I don't know if you could see because I might have been in the way. So it was a big drop back. By the time I got to the rod, the bobbin was pushing on the alarm. So I'm hoping the line on the reel's not frozen and that it was still able to take some line. But I set into that and felt the rod double over. I felt a good weight of the fish. But before I could reach for the reel to start turning, it had already come off. That was on the pineapple chunks. What rod was that? Oh, I think because the right hand rod is more straight out on the flat, the waves are having more of an impact for the false indication on that rod. Oh man. 3 bites, 2 small ones landed, 1 definitely better fish lost. That's how you start a year. Well, not being a loser and dropping fish, but getting the bites. It's like, I think it's now -2. The wind is making it feel like it's -8. Most of the freezing rain that was on the rocks is kind of dissipated, so that, like, the icy part is mostly gone, except for where I've been going back and forth with my wet boots. Now those spots are slick. Okay, I managed that cast. You know, this time of year, especially here, you drop a fish, crank it in, get it right back on the spot. That fish, you still have a chance at that same fish, never mind any of the others that are there. Yeah, that fish might have been stung a little bit, but these are wild river fish, man. They eat crayfish, they eat zebra mussels. A little prick in the mouth is nothing to them most of the time. It's, you know, the pressure of playing them definitely will spook them off, but I didn't get to play that fish. I felt the weight of it. It would have felt a little tension coming back, but I'm not convinced that I completely spooked that fish off. The hook is fine. Hook is brutally sharp. I can't really say why that hook would have come out. It must have just turned the right way. The first 2 fish, the hook hold was absolutely killer. Right well back inside the mouth. Okay, so as you can see, putting a single out. That's the right hand rod. It's actually dropped back out just slightly. Might be some rudd. There was definitely rudd here yesterday. It's been an exciting morning so far. What a way to kick off the new year. You know, you send it out in such a great way with 3 quality fish in a really short session, mega mild weather, and then 24 hours later, absolute, you know, winter conditions. There's actually snow at my house. I came down here and it wasn't snowing, it was freezing rain. But yeah, I had to brush that much snow off my van this morning when I left the house. You'd never know it looking around. You don't see any of it, but down here it was just freezing rain. It's amazing in this Niagara region, you know, just a short drive and you can have such different weather conditions, and in some cases complete extremes. Where I am sitting right now, this area sometimes gets the same, or, you know, maybe 3/4 of the snow that Buffalo, New York will get during a snowstorm. And my house, you know, not all that far away, 20 minutes up the road, might get a dusting, or it might be sunny as can be, while these guys are getting, you know, 3-4 feet of snow over here. It's the extreme changes are so wild. Okay, so that's just the right hand rod, the wave activity. I don't want to fiddle with the sensitivity settings because I like to try and keep all 3 at the same setting. So yeah, what do we got here? What did we put out? So, pineapple chunks. I've only got like 4 pots of pop-ups with me. I just brought this small bag. Pineapple chunks. Just got a few left in there. I've got some of the cold water green beast in pink. That's what's on the right hand rod. And then I've got a pot of banana. Again, just a few left in there. And then this pot is, it's a Siltbustas pot, and there's Siltbustas in there. But what I did with this one is I threw a few other randoms in here. So I got Siltbustas. I've got some of the Take 4 yellow dumbbells. What else is in there? There's little white ones. They might be the N blend ones. I got some white N blends in there. You see just kind of a mix of the strawberries and cream, or strawberries and condensed milk. So I brought 4 pots of pop-ups. None of them are full. Well, it looks like the duck hunters are moving. Some duck hunters that showed up at the same time I did this morning. About an hour before first light, they were getting themselves launched. I heard them over to the left, a few hundred yards. So they definitely took some shots. Now they're pulling out in front of me and heading upriver. Interesting. Yeah, everything I brought today is contained in just this small bag, and everything fits kind of in the unhooking mat. Small bag of tackle, bag of bait, camera bag, scale. I think the biggest thing I brought today was the pod and the brawly. Okay, I'm gonna have a bit of coffee. I'm probably gonna have to make some adjustments shortly. But yeah, off to a great start. Well, I think you would have just seen the left-hand rod just tightened right up. The tip started to whip around. And I zoomed the camera out and ran down there, and it had let go. I sat there for a minute. I didn't feel anything. So whoever it was had dropped it. And just looking at this point, and the hook point is actually dinged out a bit. And that sucks. I don't have my hook file. I think it's in my trout jacket, because I remember using it last week when I was fishing trout, and I think it's still in that jacket. So I'm gonna have to quickly tie up a new rig. And that was to the strawberry again. That's the one that I've got cast into the spot where I had the 28 yesterday. So I think I can reuse pretty much all the parts on this this rig. Just need a new hook link and a new hook, and I can put everything else back on there. My nose is running really bad. So that's a little indication on the middle rod, some indication on the left rod. Still nothing out there on the shallow flat with the right hand rod. There's been a lot of times I've been here in the wintertime, and the shallow flat is the place to be, and that's the rod that ends up going the most. But I think what's going on is I think these fish are moving through in waves. There, just pinch the barb down. Got my hook bead back. Bait screw with the bait still on there. anti-tangle sleeve. Let's see the rest of that. So yeah, the shallow flat is not doing anything. They seem to be in deeper water, and I think it's a wave of fish that's come back in. There's probably a few of them. I've also noticed that the duck hunters have just come in to my right about 150 yards, 200 yards. I think if it was flat calm and I actually had a stable spot to sit, I think I can cast to where their boat is. They're not that far. Not as far as I would like them to be. But I guess what they don't realize is, even though this bay is usually full of waterfowl right now, I haven't actually had any move through for most of the day. A few first thing, and then that's it. There's been no geese, no swans, a couple of mergansers, no other ducks. So I don't expect they'll have much activity there. But coincidentally, they moved over into that spot from wherever they were to the left. They moved over here to the right, relatively close, like I said, within 200 yards. As soon as they disrupted the flat over there by putting their decoys out, I started getting indication. So maybe the fish are on the flat and that spooked some in. I don't know. Grasping at straws here. I don't know why I haven't had another fish. Well, I suppose I do know why. I had a dinged hook, and then earlier on the rig was tangled. So yeah, I know why I haven't had more fish. Well, we've moved into the afternoon now. It's just after 1 o'clock. And unfortunately, since that missed opportunity, when I had that, had to redo my rig because of that dinged over point, nothing else has happened. Did do a recast, changed the hook bait on the right hand rod to the silt busta, so I'd have a white bait out there. And I just put a fresh bait on the middle rod. Recast all three, hoping for a quick bite if I landed in an area where there's a couple of fish. And nothing's happened. No indication, no nothing. So being as late as it is and really burning through the batteries fast because of the cold weather, even though the winds died right down, it's still really cold. So I think I'm going to start a cleanup and start moving things to the van. Overall, successful session today, successful session yesterday. I have no complaints. I could have been more organized and I could have done a few things a little better, but overall, I had a great 2 sessions. So yeah, let's see what the rest of 2024 is going to bring. Hopefully, more big carp.